Hello guys, and welcome to day 5 of this full stack application. So in our last video we looked at this reception side of this application and we saw this reception page here. So we looked at how a patient will be added to the database or this model here. We created this beautiful model here. We also looked at how the patient will be listed here in the page for reception, and also we looked at this adding this pagination down here, and we looked at this page here. We built this page here. So in today's video, in day 5, we'll be looking at this side here, the side for the doctor or the doctor module, and we'll implement this page. So the doctor will be able to see the patient, and also the doctor should see the appointment that the patient have booked with him or her, and then he will be able or she will be able to search the patient also by admission number, and also the doctor will be able to add treatment when he select a patient. I will just implement that, and that is not appearing here because I don't have patient here. So if you have a patient, I will have a button here on our right side that will allow the doctor to select that patient and add treatment. Then that treatment, if you remember in our demonstration for this project, that treatment details will be sent by email to that patient, and also it will be added to the patient dashboard so that the patient can access all the treatment that they have gone through. So in our diagram here, I had already indicated to you all the modules that we want, and also we have already created this reception module, and also we have created this patient module. So today we'll just be looking at this doctor, and then we'll go and implement. Afterward, in upcoming days, we'll just build this finance and admin. So guys, it's a long project, but hang in there. You have a long way to go, but you learn a lot through this project. And if you are gaining something or this project is helping you, so just remember to like this video and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and then we'll see you in the next tutorial. So in today's video, I want us to generate a module, and that is for the doctor. And as usual, just come here and look for modules in Angular. I just want us to see how the modules are being generated, and I know we have looked at it so many times, but I just want you to master this concept of adding modules, because this is one of the best features that Angular has, and you use it a lot of most of time. So let's copy this here, this code here, or this terminal command here. So let's copy at it, and then in our terminal here, just paste it. And then what we need now to just change is this customers here, because now we need doctor as a module, and that is for routing, and this one now is for the module. So this command is saying generate this module called doctor, and also include the root that is doctor, and this will include in our app routing module this router here to route on this module doctor, though that will be added in our app routing module. So let's generate this. So let's just enter and let's wait for it to generate. So here in our code, you can see we have this app routing here. So when every module is generated, it creates here these modules. It creates a route here for the module. So like when we generated for the patient here, it added the routing for this module patient here. So, and that's why we have this command here. This command is telling Angular generate module and also include the routing, and this one is the routing that we need in order for application to know when you type routing to the doctor, it should look for the module called doctor. and then from there now we can implement the features that we want. Remember, the module are independent application, is a small chunk of application that work independently, and we can add any functionality that we want. So we can see now we have added this path, and this path here is the doctor root, and it is pointing to our module called doctor. And you can see here now we have a module called doctor. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I wanted to show you. So here in our doctor, if you look in our application here, we need to have this top bar that will help us to navigate from this patient here route to the appointment route here, so that we change this from patient here to appointment. So what we'll do, we just generate here a top bar. So ng generate component, and then the name of the component or the folder that we need to generate that module is the doctor, and again we need to call it top bar here, just like that. So let it generate, and then we'll have a home here. So also we generate home component here, and home component is this one here that is showing the patient, because I want when the doctor logs in, by default he or she will be able to see the patient here by default, and then they can navigate, or the doctor can navigate now to the appointment here. So just like this one here. So I just want to add this home component here, and also I will add this appointment component here. So let's generate those two. So here I need to generate a home page here, just like that, or I can just call it home, and home is this default here, and then I'll generate this appointment that will be showing doctor the appointment that patient have booked with them. So let's see if it has generated that. It's okay. And then I need appointments or appointment. Let me call it appointments because I expect appointments to be many. So let it generate here as fast as possible. So now in our application here now, if you just try to now navigate to our doctor here, doctor side, you just be able to access this here, this doctor component here, because that it was generated by default. So now I just want us to see if this component here, appointments, has been generated, and yes, it has been generated. So what I need to do, I need to add this top bar here, and then here this one will change depending on the navigation on our top bar here. So let's do that. So to do that, we need to come here in our default component that is doctor, and that one will be controlling everything, will be controlling our routing. So first of all, let me open this, and I need to add here in our component, doctor component here, and because this is one that is loading by default when we access the routing for the doctor module. So what I'll do, I'll just add top bar here, top bar, just like that, and then I will add for the home. So I'll just add up home component here, just like that. So let us save and see if it works. So let's see. So you can see we have top bar here and home works here. But remember, because we want when we navigate here, like let's say appointment, let's say home, or by default it should see home, and if we change to appointments now here, it should show us now the appointment, and the top bar should be left just there up here. So what I'll do, I'll just show you how to do that. So to do that, you need to come here in doctor routing module, and the first thing that you need to do is to add children routing or children here, because we need to append those component in our routing here in our doctor component. So just add these two. So you just add these children here, and the first object here, this first object here, it should be an object that has a path, and this path should be default, just like that. And then you need to add component, and our component will be home component, just like that. So because we want a home component to load by default or to be a root, the root routing. So let's copy this and then add it here. And now here we just add appointments, just like that. And here now I just need appointments component. So let's add appointments component here. Appointments component. So let's add here appointment components. I think that's okay. So now, because we want the routing to be done by Angular, just come here in doctor.component.html, and the first thing that we'll do here, I just want us to just create two div. So the first div, we just say, first of all, I need to add a container here, a div container, and then I will have this as top bar div here. And again, now here I'll just add this. Now I need to add this up dot top bar, just like that. And again, now down here I will add what I call it main bar, just like that. So inside here now I will add this router outlet. So I will just call it router outlet, just like that. And this one, now we just add the routing responsibility to our Angular. So let's see. So this one will help us to navigate using now Angular, and it will be dynamic. So Angular will be able to understand. So using this one here, so it will just go between component here and this home component here and appointment component there. So let's see if it will now work. So let it run by default here. So let it run. So you can see now we have this home top bar here. Top bar works, and we don't want to, when we load another or we just go to other routing, the top bar, we don't want it to change. So what I'll do, I'll just add here appointments, because you can even see here, because I've built similar thing. So let's add appointments. I just want us to type because I don't want to mislead you. So let's click on this, and now you can see we need to have this component down here, but we can't see it. So let's see what is not working correctly. So let's see if we have added correctly this one here. So it is appointments, and then let's see if we have imported it wrongly. So let's see if we have these appointments. Yeah, this one, you can see it is this one down here, because we imported this component, which it is not in our this one is not in our module. That's why you can see it is importing from patient and then appointment, just like that. So it is importing from our patient module, but we want these appointments here. So I'll just add this one here, and then I'll just remove this because we don't want that. So let's now save, and we will see it will work. So let's load it again. So when it loads, now let's go on doctor side here. So let it load, and you can see now when it load, it should show us top bar works here and then home works here. So when we change to appointments now here, let's load, and now you can see now the only thing or the only part that is changing is our appointments here, appointments and home page here down here. So now you can see we have already implemented this functionality. We only need to just have this router link here in our top bar and everything will work correctly. So now let us first of all do this top bar here. So let's come here in our top bar. So where is our top bar? It is here. So inside here, just delete everything, and we have to add this div container just like that. And inside here we'll have dot navigation. Remember, just like we did with our reception side here. And now we'll have span. So the first span here, we'll have this name here, patients. So we have patients. This span should have patients here because we want our doctor to see the patients. And again, we should have appointments because doctor should see the appointments. So the other thing, let's see, it should be now this span together with this icon here. So I'll just add first of all the span, and I will add this and say welcome James Doe. So, or even we can add doctor here. And again, the last one is for logout. So we just add span here, or doctor or logout here. So now we need to add the font awesome icon. So to add that, we need to import that module in our component, in our doctor module here. So let's come here and then add font awesome here. And now we need to import here in our top bar component. So I had already created this because I didn't want us to waste a lot of time. So we just import this icon for the user. So copy it, and then you can just come here and paste it. And the other thing now we need to do is to initialize it. So I'll just say var user, and then we can give it the value of our user. It's just the same. And then let's copy this here, this line of code here that will add icon in our HTML. So in our HTML here, let it load, it's loading. So inside here now we can add this here, this line of code here. So now let's save, and now we need to start styling. But before that, let's see how it looks like. So when it loads, it looks like this. So now what we need to do, I'll just come in here in our CSS, and what I'll do, I'll just style the container. So to style the container, we just say margin of 30 pixels. Remember, this we did with our reception side, and now we need to style this navigation. First of all, I need to have background color here, and this background color should be grayish. So we'll have this EB, ED, and then F9. This one, I just want this, and I'll just add the height to have a height of, let's say 50 or 60. Let's add 70 pixels, just like that. And then I'll just say display flex, and then align items to be center, and justify content. Need to have justify content here, and space evenly, just like that. So let me first of all format, because of the extra spaces. So I have formatted it. So let's see now how it will look. So let's see. So let's let it load. So you can see how it look like. So now what I need, I'll just first of all give space between. I guess that will work. Okay, just okay. So actually what I'll do, I'll just first of all come here in our HTML, and this icon here, what I'll do, I'll just add it inside this span here before the text. So just like that, and then you'll see how it will look like. So because I just want a small space between this icon and this welcome here. So actually I have added it in a not in a correct span. So let's remove it here, and it should be here. I did that mistake, sorry for that. So now let's see if it loads, how it will look like. So let's see. So you can see where it is, and I just want us to give this navigation here a max width of 1024 pixels. So I just do 1024 pixels because I don't want to occupy a lot of space. And let's see now how it will look like. So also I give font weight. So come here, and I just want to give font weight to be bold. So add font weight. Let font weight be 900 pixels, just like that. And then I'll just come here and select the span for the logo. So this one, I can select this span, and since it's the last child, I'll just select it like that, and then I'll say color to be of color orange, and this one here is this color I'm adding here. And again, I just want it to have a cursor pointer, just like that, this one, or I can add this cursor pointer here. I think that would be okay, cursor pointer, or that I think it won't be great because we want it to have only for those spans, because those one will be able to let the user or doctor to navigate. So add it there. I think that's now would be okay. So cool. So let's see. So you can see we have this navigation here. Now we need to add the font size for this icon and a space right or margin right. So let's now and come here in our HTML, and we need now to copy this class here. So copy this class, and again inside here our CSS, let's add that class. So I need to add that class, and I'll just add font size here to have a font size of, let's add 15 pixels, and margin right here to have a margin right of, let's say, 10 pixels, just like that. So let's see how it will look like. So I think that's okay, and I can add this font to have a font of at least 25. I think that would be okay. So let's see if it will have 25 now. Yeah, this one is great. So now we need to add this routering here so that we can navigate in between the patients and the appointments. So inside here in our HTML, inside our span here, so here we need to add routering. So we have this routering here provided by Angular router. So we'll have this, and this one should be by default or home. And here inside the appointment, now we'll add this routering here, and this routering here, it will have this router /doctor and /appointment here, appointments here. So actually this one should have a doctor here, router. So let's see if it will navigate now. So actually let's remove this routing here, or this appointment routing, and let it load by default. You can see we have home here. So now when we click here, it will remain on the patient, but when we click here, it will go to the patient. So now you can see we can navigate between patient and the appointments here. And actually another feature that I want us to implement is that when you hover over this span here, it will show, it should see, or it should give us this color here. So this one, I'll just come here in our CSS, and then I can add navigation, and then this property for hovering, we can call it hover, and then we can say color. You can add the color. When you hover, give that color there. So let's see, so that you can understand. So when it load, you can see we have that color, so that you can understand how it look like. So I think that's okay. Now we need to implement on this home page here that will be showing our patients. So when you come here, you can see we'll have this here, and actually I'll just copy everything here, and I will just try to align with this top bar here. For this one I didn't align, but for ours I will just try to align. So come here in our home component here. So inside here, just let us just remove this, and then just say div.container, just like that, and then we just add div, and this one will give div.patient header, and because I don't want us to go back and forth, had already copied those header here, or those text. So we just create a span here. So this span here, and then now the only thing is to just copy this name and then paste inside here. So now we can copy this and paste here. So let's paste several times. So like that, and then like that. So now let's add here location, just like that, location here. So we need here room admitted. So room admitted here. Again, we need here admission number, just like that. And then I need ID number or security number. So another thing is status here. So we have status, and now the other thing is add diagnosis here. Diagnosis, just like that. So now that's okay. So now we can remove this because we have added the text here in our span. So now we need to style it, and first of all I just add .container here, and I will just style it. So I just give a margin of 30 pixels, same way we did with the top bar, just like that. And then I'll just now style the patient header. So patient header here. So here we'll just say display flex, and this one I can say flex, and then align items, and this one should be center. We can give justify content here, and we just say space evenly. This one here, we just give max width, and max width of 1024 pixels. And I think now font weight here should also be 900 pixels. So let's see how it will look like. And now after it have saved and load, now let's see, you can see now we have this here. This look great, and you can see here it is even looking great more than this. Remember, we will just add this toggle here using material, so don't worry. Let's first of all add this input and our listing here. So let's add all those. So now we need an input here, so we just create an input inside our here inside our HTML. So here we need this div that will add a class of search, and inside here now we'll have this text and this input, and then we'll add this placeholder or hint, and we just say search patient by admission number, just like that. So now let us style it. So I just come here and then I'll just create this search class, and then I'll just add display flex, and then align items because I want to center, and then justify content, it should be center. So the other thing that I want is now us to style on the input. So I just add search and then input, and I just want to give a padding of, let's say, 5 pixels, and a width of, let's add around 300 pixels, or let's add 350 or 400 pixels. I think that would be okay. So let's see how it will just look. So let's see how it looks like. So now you can see why it is appearing, and I think it's okay. So now the other thing that we just need to add is a margin, and here a margin can be a margin of, let's say, 20 pixels. I think that will be okay. So let's see. So let it load, and then you can see how it will look like. So you can see where it is appearing now here. So now we need to list our patient down here. So we can come here in our HTML, and now we create patient body. So we just say div dot patient body, just like that. And again, the other thing that I'll add inside here is div dot patient item here. So I'll just add that, and then I'll just copy everything here because it will have the same column or number of column. And now we can change here the name. We can say gender here, and location we can add Texas here, and we can have here room admitted to any number. So we can add any number. I'm just guessing on top of my head. And then admission number here, you just add anything, MVR, and then you can say MVR here, or MVR, and then /003, just like that. And then this one can be anything, we can add anything. And here status, we can say the status of the patient is good or it's okay. And now here I just have a button. So we have a button here. Here should be a button, and this one should be a button. And this button here, it will have a text of add, because we need a doctor to select this patient and then through this button, and then add treatment if there is a treatment that he or she is doing to this patient. So now let's paste it several times because I need it to be styled here. We need it to be listing. like 4 listing, or let's remain with this 6 listing. So now we need to just have this patient item styled. So now just come here and we just add patient item here. And remember, we only need to style it just the way we did with our header here. So copy and then paste here. But now I remove this font weight, but I will add font size here. So font size, and this font size we can give a font size of, let's say, 20 pixels. So let's see how it will look like. I think that's okay. So if it loads, you can see we have this here. We can have it listed here. And also we need to have a pagination down here. But before that, let me first of all reduce the font size. I feel that font size is bigger. It's too big. So I will just give it like around 15 pixels and hope that it will be okay, or it will look great. So now that's very small. And actually, I'll just give it, let's say, 18. And another thing that I will give is a margin. Just give a margin top of 20 pixels, or even we can add just margin, or let's give it 10 pixels. I think that would be okay. So let it load. So it has loaded, and now we have this. Now I think now it's looking great. So the other thing that we need to do is to style on this button before we add pagination here. So let's add the styling for this button. And actually what we'll do, we'll just select it using this patient item and then span and then button rather. So let's select that button, and we can add a padding here, a padding of 10 pixels, and color should have a color of, let's say, white, and the background color should have a background color of this orange color here, this one here. Give it a border none, just like that. Then font weight, so font weight, we can give font weight of 900, and font size should have a font size of, let's say, we can give it 18 pixels also. And again, I just need to add width. We can give it a width of 150 pixels. I think now the other thing is cursor pointer, just like that. I think that's now okay. So let it load and see if this button have been styled. Oh, now you can see it's giving a lot of space, or it's taking a lot of space. So now let's reduce this here, this padding, and also the font weight or font size, we can remove it. So, and then I want us to format this code. So let's see if it will work. Okay, I think that's okay. I don't have problem with that. Or we can even reduce the width and give it 100 pixels, and I think that will be okay. So let's see. So yeah, I think that's okay. And I want, when the doctor clicks here for the patient add, and then they can add treatment, they will open a model here, just the way we did with our reception, a model here that we are allowed the doctor to add the treatment. So first of all, let us give this page here pagination down here, because you can have a lot of patient and you want to navigate from one page to another. And so you can add the pagination, and also when we be integrating the backend, we will implement this search here so that doctor can just search using this admission number. So I've already copy and pasted this, and I will just not modify any data. But remember, if this data will be coming from our database, it will be different. So now let's come here, and in our module here, doctor module here, what I'll do, I'll just add ngx pagination. That module, we need to add that module because we need to add a pagination inside our home here. So now the other thing that I need to add is pagination. And to add pagination, what we'll do, so I'll just go inside our inside our reception, and I'll copy everything from there since we had already done in our reception. If you haven't gone through this video here, just kindly go and you just go through it, and you'll just understand what I'm doing. So let's copy this here. First of all, copy, and in our home here, inside our home here in our component, we need to add this there. And again, the other thing that we need to add is this grouping here. You need to copy this here, all of it, just like that. Copy it, and inside our home HTML here in our doctor, so here in our body, so just add that. So the other thing now, you need to add pagination control. So just come here inside our HTML, in our reception, we added pagination control down here. So you can just look here down, and you can see this pagination control. So copy it, and then just let us scroll upward or up, and then inside here, so let's come down here, and we can now add this pagination control here. Now we need to add this class here, or this, we need to style this pagination, and I'll just copy it from our reception here. And in our reception, just scroll down here, and you can see we have this pagination class, because I just want us to center that pagination here. So let's go back, and inside our home component CSS, just copy this here, and then let's see how it will look like. So let it save and then load or reload. So let's see. So you can see here we have this one here, and it's giving us some errors. So let's first of all save, because I know this pagination is the one that have broken the app. So let's see. So yes, so now what we'll do, just come here and see where the problem is. So first of all, let me go back, or let me just first of all remove this here, top bar. So we have our top bar. So first of all, let us just format everything. So now let's see if it will work. So we have this top bar, and is saying it's not a known element. So inside here, in our doctor here, you just need to remove this, because we need to import it here. In our import, it should not be in declaration, since it's a module. In Angular, you just import modules inside this import here, array this one. So let it save, and then you can see the changes. So let it just load. You can see we have this pagination here, but I just need to give this pagination inside our home some margin. So let's add margin here, and we can add a margin, and this time you can give a margin of 30 pixels. Let's say 20. I think that will be too big, or it will add a lot of space. So let's see how it will look like. So let it load, and then you can see we have this pagination here, down here. It is looking great, and now we can continue, and now we can create a model here for adding treatment now. So I have done this couple of times, so I'll just go fast. So let's come here in our component, or in our home here. In our HTML down here, I will add this div, and I say add treatment, just like that, or add diagnosis, anything. So now you can see I need to create an overlay first of all, and I've done this couple of times. So what I'll do, to create an overlay, I'll just add position relative here. First of all, position relative is the same thing that we did with our reception. So I just now add treatment here, just like that, and I just want us to confirm if it is called add treatment. So now inside here, I'll just start by position, and I'll just add position absolute, and I'll just position top 0, and right should be 0 also, 0, and again now we'll have this right, or we need to have a height of, let's add 100 VH, and a width of 100 VW, just like that. So we'll have a background color. So we have a background color here, just like that. So we have a background color here, this one, and now we'll have this transparency color, just like that, and it will have this RGBA here, and a transparency of 0.2, just like that. I think that's okay. So now let's save, and save this one here, or it will autosave when we move out of that page. So it should have an overlay. You can see we don't have that overlay here. Oh, it has not finished loading. So let's see. Now you can see we have this overlay here. So the other thing we need to do is now to add this item. I call it add item. So add item here, just like that. Actually, it should be a div with a class of add item. So I just say div dot add item, just like that, and then inside here I'll just have this input here. Just say add div, and then input item, just like that, and inside here we'll have a label, just like that, and this first label here we'll call it the name of treatment that has been done, and then input, it should have an input here, just like that, and again now that's okay. So now I need to just copy and paste several times. So copy, and then paste down here, and then paste again, paste, and then paste. So now inside here, or here, we can add the drug administered, or the drug that was given to the patient after diagnosis, or in the process of diagnosis administered. And again, we can have this here as doctor name, because it is necessary. So doctor name, and this one you can choose to add the input here, or you can get it from the local storage when the doctor logs in. you can get that name from there. So the other thing is that we can add is the describe treatment, because the doctor should describe the treatment that he or she did to the patient. So the other thing here, actually now this one should be text area, because it should have a space to add text, a large text. So I just add text area. Let me add text area here. Text area, this one can add there. So the other thing now is we can add status. So this one here, we can have status and bill, if there is any bill that is associated with that treatment. So the other thing is date of that treatment. So here I just add date. So here date, and now here we can select date. This input should have a type of date. So now we need the other thing is our button. So we need to have a button, and this one I'll call it submit here. So I just add a text of submit here. So now we need to add this and we need to style this. So I just copy this here. So copy it, and here in our CSS, let's move down, and then inside here we can add that add item. We can say position absolute here, just like that. And then actually this one I have misspelled it. So we can say top 0, or top should be 0, and then right here we can have a right of 0 pixels, or 0, actually it's okay. And then I'll have a height, and have a height of, let's say, 100 VH, and a width of, let's say, we can add at 25 pixels there. And the other thing is background color, should have a background color. Let's give a background color of white. So let's see. So let it load and see how it will appear here. So let it load, and after a while you can see it here. Actually you can see it's appearing here, and it's not working correctly. So what we'll just do, let's see where the problem is. Actually this width should be 25%, not 25 pixels. So this one is percent. So let's see if it is working now correctly. So yeah, you can see now it is working okay. So the other thing now, we need to add inside our HTML here in our home, we can have a div here, and we call this close, because it will contain a button for closing. So we can have this h2 or h3 and heading, and we just say add treatment here, just like that. And then we can have this button, and this button here will have a text of close, just like that. So now let's style from here. So copy this, and then inside here, what I'll do, I'll just scroll down a little bit and then add this, and then I can add display or display flex, just like that. And then align items here, align item center, and justify content to be space between, or space between. and a margin can have a margin of, let's say, 20 pixels, just like that. Now here in our cross, I need to style on our button here, and I'll just give a background color of this to be red, a color of white. I just add this color here of white. Font weight should have a font weight of 900, and border none should have a border of none. And again, the other thing that we should do is a padding, and we can give a padding of 5 pixels here, just like that. So I think that's okay, and let's see how it will look like. So let's it load. So yeah, you can see we have this button here. So now we need to style this one here, these items. So I'll just style the input here, and let's see what we need to style. Okay, so now we just add the item here, input item. So I just say input and then item, and first of all we just say display flex here, display flex, and flex direction should be column because we want the label to be on top of the input. So this one is flex direction. So let's see, flex direction to be column, just like that. And again, now we can start and let's style on the input. So we can just say input or input item, and then style on the input. And this one we can give a padding of, let's say, 10 pixels, just like that. So that's okay. And the other thing, we can give a width of, let's say 250 or 300 pixels. And this one I feel it will be bigger here, or it will just be too much padding. So let's see how it will look like. So let's see. So when it load, and you can see we have this one here. So I think it is not giving us some space, so we can say item here. In our input item here, we can give a margin. Let's have a margin of let's say 5 pixels or 10 pixels, just like that. And then see, and here now we can even add font weight to be a font weight of 900 pixels. I think that's okay. And yeah, let me remove this because it's giving me errors. So let's see how it will look like now. I think that's okay. It will be okay now. Yeah, you can see we have this one here and it's working correct. So that's okay. Now the other thing that we need is to style this and have this here to be on the center. So what we'll do is just now select the button. So inside here we can have add item and then select the button. So just say add item and then select our button. So you can say display flex because we wanted to center it, display flex, and then align items. So we have align items to be center, just like that, and justify content to be center, just like that. And again, now we need to have a padding of 10 pixels, a margin of, let's say, 10 pixels also, And the other thing that we need to have is border none. First of all, border none. So we have border none here, and a color of, let's say we should have a color of this white here, this white color. And then I just want to remove this space because it's too much. So now I need to have a background color here. And remember, we had a background color of blue, but I don't want to give a default blue. So now in our reception here, so inside here, there's a color of blue that I want. So this one here. So copy this here, and inside or here in our doctor here, HTML, CSS. So now we can add that. So let's see. And a width, we can give a width of, before I forget, 300 pixels. 300 pixels, just like that. So let it load, and then we can see how it will look like. So I think that would be okay now. So you can see, you can submit there, and actually you can see I'm styling too. So what I will do, first of all, I will just give a class to that button, and actually I have remembered I had added the submit class, so I just started using submit. And again, I just remove this padding because I feel like it is not necessary for now. So let me format our code. So let's see now how it will look like. So let it run, and yeah, now you can see we have that one. Now it's okay. So the other thing that we can add here is font weight. So add here font weight. So we have font weight here, and this one we can give it 900 pixels, or 900 is not pixels, so that this text becomes bold. So now we need our, this one, we can add cursor pointer. First of all, don't want to forget. So have a cursor pointer. So this one can have a cursor pointer. And now the other thing now we need to do, we need to toggle using this button and using this button. So what we'll do, we just create a variable in our component here. So in our component inside our home here, and we'll have a variable, and this variable will call cross. It will be of boolean, and we'll just give a default value of false. So the other thing now we need to do is to add a function that will help to toggle. So I'll just say show add treatment, something like that. I'll just call treat, and just like that. Now this one will toggle. Just say this dot cross is equals opposite of this dot cross. So it will just toggle in between. If it is true, this value is true, it will toggle it to false, or if it is false, it will toggle it to true. So now we need now to show this add treatment here conditionally. So I'll just add this ng if directive, and then I'll give it a value of cross because we need to toggle using it. So now inside here, inside our button here, now we can add an event of click, and we'll give it this show add treat here function, just like that. And then I just copy this one here, and inside here in our patient listing, we can add this one here. So just add it there. So add it here everywhere in our this button add. So just add this one here and add this one here, just like that. and this one, the last one here. So let it save, and now let's see. So let it save. I think should save. So there is an error, and it is telling us that this one here, we have an error. So unexpected closing. So I think here, somewhere here we have given some, or we have done some mistakes. So let's see where we did the mistake. So it's here, it is here. So you can see we didn't add some space there, and I think now it should work okay. So let it load. So after it load, you can see there is no that overlay, but when you click here, you can see there's an overlay. Just like that, as simple as that. So now the other thing that we need to do is to just add here appointment, and in our system here, you can see it should have these three here, this treatment here, and I'll just add this really fast. So because it's something that we have added already. So inside here, I'll just remove this and add a container. So I'll just leave container here, and inside here I'll just have a point. I'll just call it div here, and a class of appointment header, just here, appointment header. And the first thing, and what we can do, can just copy this, or have copied it just like that, and then paste it here. So let's paste it here, inside here. So let's paste it there. So the first thing that we have is we need to have a span, and this one will have a patient name here. So the other thing, you'll have a span, and this one will have a patient email, and so here I just need to capitalize this patient here, and then we have this span now for the date. So just there. So now you can add more details, but I felt no need to add a lot of details since it's a demo application. You can add if you want to take it to production. So I just add this appointment body here, appointment body, just like that. Actually, this one is appointment here, and inside here now we can have a div, and this one should have appointment header, just like that, yeah, there. And so inside here now we can have this here, and now we can change values here. We can have a patient name, we can call it gendo, just like this. And then we can have here the email. You can say the email is gendo@gmail.com, and then the date, you can add the date here to be 2023, and then date January, and then date 1. So I just copy this here. This one, it is appointment header item. Actually, it's not header. So now we can copy this inside here, and then we can paste it like 4 times or 5 times. So the last one there. So now I just want now to just come here and style this div dot container. So we'll just say dot container here, and now we can say display. No, I just need to give a max width or a margin let's add a margin of 30 pixels. The other thing that I want to style is patient or appointment header, just like that. And now we can say max width to be 1024 pixels. The other thing is this, you can say display flex, align items, center, justify content to be spaced between or to space evenly. And the other thing is font weight, just to have a font weight of, let's say, 900, just like that. So I'll also, because we have done, I'll just go first, and then here I can add this item, and now we can copy everything inside here, just like that, and then copy it, paste. And I don't want to have this font weight, but I need to have font size here. So this font size, and we can have font size of, let's say, 18 pixels, just like that. So now let it save and see how it will appear. So come here in our application and then let it load. So it should appear somewhere here. So you can see we have this one here. It is looking great. So now we can have a margin of, let's say, 10 pixels, just like that. So let's see how it will look like. So it should be great and it should be okay. So yeah, you can see we can have that one here, and actually now we can have a pagination down here. You know how we are adding pagination, and it is really easy now, since we have gone through this video with you. So inside here, in our home, we just copy this one here, just like that, copy it, and inside our component here, we just add it. In our appointment component here, we just add it there, because we need this P as current page, and this collection here, we need it as a day of our collection of items. So the other thing that we need is, in our HTML here, we need like this pagination control here. So just copy it here, and we need to come here in our HTML after this divs here. Inside here now we can add that page control, and now we need the looping part. So just scroll up and now copy this here to add it. So just copy it just like that, and then inside here now, so scroll up, and now inside here appointment body, we can now add that for loop there. So now let's save and see how our application will look like. But we need to add a pagination, or this pagination styling. So let it load first of all, and then I know it will appear here. You can see now what we need to do. Just in our home here, so here we need this pagination class here. So I just copy all of it, this one, just the way it is, and then because we want to center that pagination, and inside here in our CSS, add that, let it save, and then see it would be just centered here. So you can see it is right there. So you can see we have our pagination here. So I have done everything in what I wanted to do in this module here. I know this tutorial have been long, than usual, but I am hoping that you have learned something. So guys, without much ado, let's close there. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe and like this video. And if this video has been helpful to you, you can just comment down there. You can say what you have learned from this video. So let's see in the next video, and have a great day.